Joining me on the line now, though, to hopefully provide you with some valuable insights and entertainment and something to watch and consume over the next couple of weeks as we go to Diet Level 5 Wednesday evening. He's a writer, he's the hardest working performer in the country, and he's a friend of the show, comedian Danny O Brien. Sir, how are things?
Cormac, how are things, Manuel?
Just pretending to have the crack, you know what I mean? And playing all these happy songs as if it's like, yeah, we're all fine, but we're not at all.
I wonder what we'll talk about.
Yeah, I mean, just speaking of talking about, Danny, sorry, the one thing that's really doing my nuts in over the last couple of weeks is if and when you meet someone, you know, in the park 2 meters away with your Zorb suit on so you don't get any diseases or germs, the only thing people have to talk about is the stupid numbers, the cases and the lockdowns. There's literally nothing else going on that people can go, do you see that new movie? Were you at that gig? It's just everyone being angry all the time.
Cormac, absolutely relentless, man. I see the mental toll it's taken on absolutely everyone I know. Everyone's exempt. I'm trying to just focus on other projects and stay busy. One thing that anyone listened as well, at least you're not going to be stuck in a TikTok house for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's probably a good idea. No, there you go.
But there's lads in Mountjoy now just go, well, listen, you know what I mean? It could be worse. I could be stuck in a TikTok house. Can you imagine the daily cringe of having to look at them just constantly? Like, I cringe and I live alone, you know? Yeah,
it's tough. It definitely will be, I can imagine, very, very exhausting to keep trying to pumping that stuff out. But thankfully, who knows? It may not be anything, or it may not be any more anyway. But you've been obviously trying to keep yourself busy for the entire year. Again, I keep forgetting how long we've been in this. But the latest thing is around, I think this looks really interesting, really fun, because we're going to be going back into like fat mode. So we need something with a bit of food. So what's the latest thing you've been working on?
Fat mode is my default setting, Cormac. Oh, captain, my captain.
Excellent.
I am here for all of you. I have a few different food projects on the go. Like, obviously, we've been doing social distance kids workshops, myself and Damien Clark. I think they're obviously, I don't know if they're going to be able to continue now because of all of this, but we are doing online gigs and stuff like that. So we're flat out with online gigs. Do give us a shout for them at Garden Gigs Ireland. We're doing Christmas parties, everything, making the best out of a bad stitch. But on the food front things, I literally just did my first, I knew this news was coming, so I made my first TikTok 1 minute recipe video tonight, and I posted it just as Micheál Martin delivered the blow.
The final punch in the face. You're like, we're so close. No, we're gone.
I threw a red Thai prawn curry in between that punch in the face, so the prawns cushioned the blow, you know. So I'll be lashing out loads of them on TikTok for the next 6 weeks, I suppose. But I made a premiere kind of pilot episode of a little mini-series called Danny O Brien's Food Porn.
Oh, lovely.
Which is, I only put it up just before the weekend, and the first one was on Burger Cartel, which is up on the canal there. So it's kind of going around different food trucks in Dublin. It's all those, it's a kind of a diners, drive-ins and dives, man versus food, but without any of the annoying American elements. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? There's none of that, like, we're going to go get, diabetes from the gargantuan. There's none of that. Like, and
there's no, like, emotional storylines being thread through either, where you're going to, rekindle relationships with long-lost loved ones.
Yeah, it's just like, here's loads of deadly food. Who wants to eat it? And meet the people who make it. That's what it's about. And so we've got a few of them lined up. It should be a bit of crack. And then I've got another couple of food projects that are going to be coming out soon as well. I can't announce them yet, but watch the old grams for that.
Oh, lovely,
I'm really
lovely.
excited about them. They'll be really helpful. I had a meeting just before all of this anyway, and it's actually something that will be really, really beneficial to hopefully keep people, if you do love your food. I should be throwing loads of stuff your way over the next 6 weeks anyway.
So deadly. And Danny, come here, right? The food porn series that you're throwing out, is it mainly on Insta, YouTube, or where can people consume your food porn?
I'm gonna put it out on the gram. I think that's where it belongs for the time being. I'll share it out on the other mediums as well. But they're only short, like under around 5 minutes per episode. The first one got, I think it was like 10,000 views within the first couple of days. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it lit. So check it out at Instagram, and that's my TikTok handle as well for all the 1 minute recipes.
Oh, I have a good idea, right? Instead of Pornhub, you could set up Pornhub. Pornhub.com and just put all your food videos up there and have the same intro.
I'm literally going to make sure see if I can buy that domain as soon as I get off.
I'm like, damn it, Danny! To turn around next week and you're getting like millions, just even from the misspelling of people trying to put in Pornhub.com. You're like, hey, it's Danny. Sorry, there's loads of lube, but
here's Danny's OnlyFans Pornhub.
Yeah, there's loads of lube, but it's for the frying pan, unfortunately, and nothing else.
Olive oil.
Yeah. God, that could work. Anyway, Pornhub, there we go. We've just launched that new brand tonight here on the show as well. Cool. So listen, the gigs as well. I mean, obviously, you probably picked the worst time to launch a new comedy club, which was doing amazingly well in the Wild Duck. That's obviously gone. And now the outside gig can't really happen with the poxy weather at the moment. So it's mainly...
Even if we had, like, Seville, Spain summer weather at the moment, it can't happen now because of restrictions. Because there's no gatherings whatsoever, irrespective of the weather now, So, but it wasn't feasible with the weather anyway. So the Wild Duck has been put on ice for now, and then we're flying with online gigs though, and took out a couple of things. Myself and Damon made a decision earlier this morning that for any small independent Irish businesses that are listening, or anyone, particularly those involved in like retail and hospitality, we feel like we know the absolute wallop that they're after taking. So if there is any small independent Irish business owners out there and you want us to do a gig for your staff, we'll do one free of charge. We'll set up a Zoom, get a load of cans, and we'll have the absolute crack, and we'll have a good laugh for an hour and a nice bit of escapism from all the grimness. So honestly, just tell anyone to get in touch via our website, which is just Garden Gigs Ireland, and we're going to do one or two a week, and more if we have time. So
amazing, man.
We want to give back a bit, and we know this is the time to kind of link in with people now, chat to people as much as you can, go for walks within your 5K with your mates, even if it's for a coffee outside. I think connecting, I know it sounds ironic given we've been thrust into level 5, we're told to keep away, but I think it's more important to connect with people now safely, obviously, but particularly online and stuff like that,
Yeah, I think even picking up the phone and just having a phone call, getting off Twitter where the anger is and turning off the news for a minute and just kind of ringing someone and going, what's going on?
Yeah, they should delete Twitter for 6 weeks.
Oh, that's a genius idea. They 100% should. 100% should.
Yeah, definitely. We're doing loads of online gigs. They're actually really good crack. We've been doing them since March. I'll be completely honest. They were a nightmare when we first started doing them. They were crazy.
Were they?
The internet didn't work. Zoom wasn't quite all the way there. Whatever way.
Yeah.
And we've been doing them every single week. I've been doing loads of Laugh Lounge as well. We've been doing them every week since March. And we've got really good at them. We've got a really good format. We keep it high energy, good crack. We have competitions. So we make people get up off their arse and run around the house, do stupid things, and come back to the camera and, have prizes. We just keep it as lively as we can. So it's the opposite of like a Zoom quiz with your family and you're like, oh, my internet's broken. You just throw your laptop out the window.
No, they sound like a bit of crack. Speaking of, I don't know if anyone has seen this. Speaking of Zoom, I don't know, there was I won't name the Dublin College, but did you see what happened during a lecture today?
No, was there nativity or something?
Yeah, someone forgot to turn their microphone off. And in the middle of the lecture, where the lecturer is talking about different things, all you hear is a bit of groaning, a bit of panting, and then they left the mic on. The lecturer had to actually stop and kind of go, "Here, Mike, for God's sake!" He was riding his bird in the middle of the Zoom lecture.
Man, that's mega cringe. But I had one that wasn't that bad, but was also very funny. On Friday night, I was doing an online corporate gig. There was over 100 people on it, so obviously you can only see, maybe 20, 30 at a time, and loads of people have their camera off. This couple started having a domestic, but they didn't know their sound was on, but their camera was also off. So it was like the Wizard of Oz, so no one knew who it was, right? It was like a mystery sound. And then all I hear is the guy in the background going, "Are you still on that, for work, are you?" And then all I hear is him going, "Yeah, Alexa, play Guns N' Roses." And then they start having this big scrap over him trying to play Guns N' Roses on Alexa while she's on a work Zoom. It was, it was the highlight of the gig.
Oh dear, carnage of 2020. Well, listen, Danny, delighted to hear you're still keeping yourself as busy as possible, even with this absolute tripe that is COVID at the moment. Anyway, DOB Comedy on Instagram, but Garden Gigs as well. He said if you're kind of small business struggling, the lads will look after you if they can, if they've any availability over the next while. Listen, sir, we'll probably be talking again when we go to level 6 or 7 or 8 or 204.
Yeah, like Spinal Tap, like level 11. We actually have to just bury under the ground. Like,
yeah, we'll sort that out. Yeah, but listen, man, very best of luck. We'll chat to you again soon. Thanks a million for popping on.
Thanks, man. Talk to you soon.
Bye. Danny O Brien there. Listen, go and support them if you can as well. I know if your business has been destroyed or severely impacted, the lads will put on a good show for you. And if you're a small business who maybe, no one has the funds anymore, but the lads will look after you as well. So thank you for that, Danny.